Tillamookkk dispatch non-emergency. We should be calling an emergency number, but they ain't gonna listen. Well, that ain't fucking it. Hello, my name is Sean Schwartz. We still have safety issues to address that are not being addressed. I've attempted on multiple occasions to turn in the crimes committed against me by police to 911, as well as the other agencies that I've been sent around in circles to. And literally every one of those places refuses to do their jobs as mandated reporters. They have to do the job immediately. Instead, they try to talk me into doing a bunch of other stuff that doesn't get the crimes turned in. It doesn't get the police to do their jobs either. Now, when police come and bully us, instead of talking over us, dispatch needs to actually listen to the safety issue and pay attention to the fact that it is a safety issue, not a refusal. If I could go safely, I would. When I say that there's a safety issue with Officer Martinez, it's specifically because he has run around and told people that I'm wanted for murder when I'm not, and literally bullied me every single time I've tried to turn in the crimes committed against me, including multiple assaults. It's not dispatch's job to play defense attorney for the police. When a crime is committed against an at-risk adult, whether it's committed by a police officer, a dispatch operator, or their next-door neighbor, it's still a crime. They're still trying to turn it in, and it is still mandated that you have to. Now, for 16 months, I've been sitting circles around this, literally sent back to the police department over and over and over again for them to refuse to do the job, tell me that I need to go to a different jurisdiction, try to bully me into other jurisdictions. I'm tired of getting threatened. I'm tired of being assaulted. Now, I'm glad that I'm not getting bullied with the trying to scream my number over the top of everything thing going on now. That is very, very much appreciated. It helps to protect my number. Unfortunately, my number's already been given out by the courts. When I try to turn that in as the safety issue that it is, because the harm is actually happening, the last thing that I need is for Martinez showing up and talking over me and talking down to me and dismissing me. And when I try to turn that into 911, or the non-emergency 911, it would be much appreciated if I wasn't dismissed there in the same way, as if I must be making it up. When I record stuff, I don't record to try to be a bully. I don't record to be a jerk. I record because with the title of mentally ill held over my head, I get treated like I'm a liar if I don't. And even if I do have recording after recording of people physically assaulting me, when police officers say I brought it on myself, like Officer David Martinez has, that puts my life at risk because it lets my predators know outright that nobody cares if I'm harmed. The police don't care if I'm harmed. Now, when I'm sent to mental health by the police, they're overstepping their legal boundaries there. They're trying to insinuate mental illness because they want to use it as an excuse to be lazy and not do their jobs. The problem is, if I'm so mentally ill that they're going to send me to mental health over being assaulted, well, then mental health needs to do their job about that assault, not tell me that it's the police's job. And if it is the police's job, like the judge said in court yesterday, no, it's after midnight, 2 days ago. Like the judge said in court, it is the police officer's job to do that. But the police, when they tell me that it's mental health's job, what they're doing is depriving me of my rights. They're depriving me of my dignity. And they're allowing my predators the knowledge that the police will let them harm me whenever they want.
Sean.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm the one you spoke with last night, and like I mentioned to you last night, unfortunately what we have available to us is to have you speak with an officer. Now, because I know you're concerned about a private number showing up, what I can do is I can put you through directly to the police officer I was trying to get you to speak with last night.
The officer last night was Lothman. I'm willing to meet him in person if he's willing to show up.
Okay, either that or I could put you directly through to his phone.
That'll work too.
Okay, let me put you through to him and just be one moment, okay? Just be one moment, it's a second.
Hello. I was calling Tillamookkk dispatch non-emergency number to make some complaints about some of their behavior, and the lady said that she could put me through to an officer I spoke with last night, so that's what I'm doing.
Hey, Sean, this is Lynn.
Yeah, I tried to send you stuff to the go ahead.
Let me double check. I am looking. Did you get a message that said it all went through or anything like that?
Did I get what?
Were you able to send stuff on that link?
No, I can't do that from my phone, like I said. I've tried. What I was able to do is send 2 text messages when that number popped up with the text messages to me. I popped 2 messages back. That's the thing, is that I don't have the ability to do all this electronic stuff. I literally do not have the ability to do it. I'm out here standing in the friggin' freezing weather because I literally can't afford any of the things that it takes to take care of myself, let alone defend myself. The videos that I was trying to send you, like, it's impossible to do any of this stuff over the internet to begin with. I'm not sure if you've ever tried to fill out a police report online, but it's not user-friendly. And just like with the text message thing, like, I sent you 2 text messages, you'd think that the police would spend some money to make it easier, not more complicated.
You'd think.
I did send Candy a whole bunch of messages of the assaults and him kicking in the crap out of the side of my vehicle and following me to multiple locations. There's over 30 recordings of him doing that. And in every single one of them, he pursues me. There isn't a single video where I'm following him, chasing him, anything of that sort.
Right. How are you sending them to Candy but not to this number?
I did send them to that number. It just, I can send them to her as a text message. It doesn't go to you as a text message, apparently, because I sent 2 of them.
Yeah, I don't have any on my work phone. I wonder if it's just too big of a file for this phone to accept that.
Well, it might be, and that's one of the issues with, you know, when I try to turn this stuff in right away and people are like, why don't you do this, why don't you do that? There are way too many issues that I encounter that make it impossible to do it right away. Most of my phones are too full to download anything. When I tell people what I need help with is somebody going in with me to talk to the police, so they have to take it seriously and don't blow me off like I'm some drug addict out here. They don't take it seriously. By the time they do take it seriously, it's like 6 months down the road. 6 months down the road turns into an awful lot of assaults.
Okay. What were you trying to send me, Sean? A quick video?
I tried sending you 2 videos, the first 2 videos of Andrew Wolnez assaults. There's at least 30 videos overall. There's 9 assaults by him overall, and at least 7 of them are recorded. One of them might not be because it was a splotchy. There's also trying to send you that I literally don't have the means without assistance is how this all got started with the assault by Christian Alexander, or with the threats to kill those youngins by Christian Alexander, and then those youngins and how they targeted me after that with the bullhorn and their little mini KKK rally. There's probably close to 100 recordings of them driving by, throwing stuff at my vehicle and screaming the N-word, going, well, all the way back to when I first got to town, but real heavy, probably about 8 or 9 months ago. And they keep it up literally every single night. I have to deal with them doing that stuff. At least once a day, I get called the N-word by somebody who's driving by. It's the same group of youngins. Andrew Wolnez knows who they are. In that very first recording, he's literally yelling at me about writing about some kids. Well, I was writing about abuse. Now, in that very first video, he calls me a pedophile and all sorts of other stuff, claims that he saw me doing blues. I don't friggin' touch drugs. He didn't like any of the names that he called me, because when I called him 2 of those names back, he got physically aggressive. Now, there's a difference between orally aggressive and physically aggressive. Now, he assaulted me a grand total of 3 times that day. The 3rd time that he assaulted me, he was accusing me of being wanted for murder in Colorado. Now, I've had at least 6 homeless people come up to me and tell me that Officer Martinez is the one that's been running around telling people that. And they were running around telling me that at least 7 months ago. So I've had to deal with this stuff with Martinez for at least 7 months. When, people are trying to help me to turn in good faith, trying to turn in the crime committed against me, and Martinez shows up and tells Candy that I brought it on myself. That's very scary for a victim of and long-term harassment. Bragging about it, bragging that he was playing head games with. I've got a crap ton of evidence in my car that I can show you of him and some of my long-term stalkers. We're talking about like people who have been stalking me for 6 years or longer, working together to harass Safeway, the library, places like that, anywhere that I go, to literally make any claim that they want to try to get me kicked out. They were trying to tell the Safeway and the library that I was going into the bathroom and filming their kids. Now, obviously, I'm not going into the bathroom to film people's kids, because people's kids being filmed has nothing to do with my safety or the safety of those around me.
Sure.
I'm not recording because I'm some sort of a pervert. I'm recording because I'm assaulted so often.
Okay.
Now, the situation with Natalie Bollinger that I tried to explain in the very first time, the situation with Molly and her bullying, yeah, she was using that situation with Natalie Bollinger too. The situation with Farnsworth and his bullying, same thing. Like, you don't go running around saying that stuff and doing that stuff. Do what?
Is Molly still around?
No, she isn't. She kept that stuff up for about 6 weeks, though.
How long has Molly been gone?
I'm not sure how long she's been gone, because as soon as she was gone, there was the Farnsworth situation. And the situation with them youngins has been going on since I got here. So, I mean, as soon as the Molly situation was over, I was already well entrenched in trying to get Farnsworth to knock his stuff off. Now, Farnsworth has been absolutely picture perfect. I've probably seen him 40 times since he assaulted me. There was only one time that I saw him since then that he was mean to me and he was threatening to me, but he hasn't since then. There's been at least 40 occasions I've seen him since where he hasn't done any of that. Now, the situation with Andrew Wolnez is he's kept this up for over 5 months. The whole week before, God, what do you call it? I think it was probably 2 or 3 weeks completely, end of September. There was a bunch of youngins throwing stuff at my vehicle, and then for about 3 weeks in October, they were doing the same thing, including the day before my birthday. The situation with Andrew Wolnez has been going on since, the 911 call that I was arrested on. Wolnez assaulting me the first time was only 5 days after that.
Okay.
And that was like real heavy. Them youngins were coming by and throwing stuff at my vehicle and kicking my vehicle, throwing drinks at my vehicle. You know, it's not like I was calling 911 for no reason at the other end, or I've got an officer who shows up, doesn't take it seriously, and it creates a situation where I'm literally assaulted this many times, and then I get bullied as if I chose it. No, I didn't choose any of this. I didn't choose for Natalie Bollinger to get shot in the head. I was trying to save her life and mine. Her family are a bunch of bullies. They made her life hell, and they made my life hell, and that doesn't make it okay for them to victimize me. Now, as far as the under color of law stuff, like I've had to learn all of that stuff because I've been victimized from one end of the country to the other. Bullying me into going to another jurisdiction is dismissive of my disabilities. It's also dismissive of my financial situation. The same thing with running me around all these different mental health places. I don't need to go to a mental health place when somebody's assaulting me. And I did ask the judge. That was, let's see, is it Wednesday now? So 2 days ago, I asked the judge, is it the police officer's job to investigate these crimes, or is it mental health's job to investigate these crimes? And she said, it's the police's job. I said, well, you need to tell the police that. I shouldn't have cursed at anybody to get heard. Nobody should. But then again, nobody should be victimized and assaulted and then blown off by the police by, statements like, you brought it on yourself. Candy is a witness to that situation. Also, Candy and I are not getting along presently, but that doesn't mean that I have any ill will towards her. All the stuff that she had to go through, I looked at it. It's legit. And she was sick. She was sick.
Okay.
It's not a matter of me not trying to get help. It's a matter of people not taking it seriously when I'm assaulted. When your family member is assaulted, you would want police to take seriously and take care of it right away. Not tell the victim that it's their fault, they brought it on themselves, or they need to go to a friend or family member. And that's the worst part there, is going to a friend or family member, especially when your friend or family members have a history of ripping you off. I just want the abuse to stop, but it's never going to stop. Now, the financial abuse that I've had to endure because of this is the reason that I'm homeless. I ran around to do every little mental health thing that I was told to do by law enforcement from day one. All law enforcement wants to do is pawn me off on mental health, mental health, mental health. Mental health doesn't want to do their jobs as mandated reporters. They just want to change the laws and push the housing thing. I didn't want to move to Tillamookkk, Oregon. I just wanted Molly to leave me alone. That never should have turned into all of this.
So Sean, what are you hoping to accomplish tonight with this phone call?
Well, sir, I would like to be able to get the information about the assaults taken care of, which means that I'd like to set up a meeting where myself and an officer and my evidence can sit down and actually get everything that is needed together to turn in everything that you guys need for Andrew Wolnez to be arrested for his assaults. I'm trying to get you guys the videos the best way that I can from what is a very unsafe situation for me.
So you have these videos on your phone. Are you putting them all on YouTube?
I can't possibly put them all on YouTube. I can't even keep my phone charged because of the 3-hour limit of a room in the library. Like, I literally cannot do any of the stuff that I'm being asked to by the courts. I can't do any of the stuff that it takes to turn in my predators. I've explained that time and again. I have the evidence. If I want to download one of these videos to the internet, it will literally take me a full day of not having any broken internet whatsoever, because it'll stop the download and I'll have to start over again. That's what it takes for a video that's not recorded live to be put online. So I recorded most of these videos live. Another one of the reasons that I record live is because officers have arrested me and had me locked up and took my evidence and refused to allow me to have my evidence back unless I pled guilty to crimes I didn't commit. Now, on the bright side, I did get my computer back in that situation. On the not so bright side,
Okay.
Ray Ingersoll actually ended up dead.
Okay. So is there like a video that you have on, yesterday you were talking about stuff that's already up on YouTube. Are you able to, if you're not able to send me the video, are you able to sort of tell me what the title of the video would be and about what minute mark the assault would be on?
Actually, in the comment section of these videos, it's already got that part. It'll just have 2 sets of numbers with a semicolon in between them, or a colon in between them. You just click on that, it'll take you right to it. But the thing is,
what video would that be?
let's see. I'm not sure off the top of my head. That's one of the things about having to use phones to talk and also having to use them to send the evidence through, is that I can't see the evidence while I'm busy talking on the phone. I am trying to send the evidence. It's obvious that I am. I mean, I sent two links to videos to your cheap phone. I don't know how to work past that. I'm having to work from my phones and having the same issues. Although I get blown off and treated like those issues don't exist.
So let's try something else then, Sean. Since you can't send videos to my phone because it's trash, how about if you can, like you said, you can go through the phone without being on the phone, just kind of notice or write down, hey, in this video titled this, at about this minute mark, you can see Andrew come and attack me. And this video was from like December 15th.
Yes, sir. December 21st, the first video, it starts off with this guy came to mess with me. It's from September 21st. The first and second assaults are in that. If you listen to the first 5 minutes of it, you can hear him screaming all sorts of stuff, trying to start a fight. I do face him in the very beginning, because obviously when you turn your back on somebody like that, that's when you're most likely to get hit. I made sure that I stood my ground the best I could until there was somebody professional looking, and then I went about my way and didn't say anything else to him. You can hear him just screaming away in the background, having some sort of conniption about something, trying to pretend I'm a pedophile and all sorts of other creepy stuff. Now, the videos with them youngins show that they've kept this stuff up. They haven't stopped.
So we'd be looking for, at this point, point, we'd just be looking for points where you were physically assaulted.
Yep.
Where they
The second one is called. The second one is called "Show Us on This Pegasus Where the Bad Sean Touched You."
Okay.
This is what he's saying, and he's channel about the not true, but it doesn't have to be true. He's playing head games with me. He's literally bragging about it. Now there's also the of Safeway and the library. Him and a guy, the account called, you should probably write this down, Fred Burner or Fred Turner.
Okay.
There's probably close to 200 of the accounts that he's made, either Fred Burner, Fred Turner, Fred Burner, you know, different variants of that. He's been getting on. There's also another one of them calling themselves Nope Nope. And they've been doing this for about 6 years, and they've been getting on to the Safeway. If you look up online, the reviews, they've been getting up on the Safeway reviews and making false accusations there, along with Andrew Wolnez, and they are working together to do this. Now, Andrew Wolnez has only been doing this since September, but Fred Burner, aka Fred Turner, and the Nope Nope account, they've both been at this for years. Like when people victimize me, these people pick them up and start teaching them how to harass me full time and how to get away with it. And that includes the restricted number thing that Andrew Wolnez has been calling me on repeatedly. Now, I do what?
This Fred guy that you're talking about, is he a real person in Tillamookkk, or is he somebody online harassing you?
No, he's more than likely it's Ted Bollinger, Natalie Bollinger's dad.
Okay.
The one guy that's been watching my channel said that the Ted Burner accounts tend to show up when Ted Bollinger is out of jail, and when Ted Bollinger goes into jail, the Ted Burner accounts kind of ignore me. It's also a singular account, whereas some of these other accounts, like Ativan666 and accounts like that, they usually come on as a group, usually between 5 and 10 people, and they get on and just try to harass me, bully me, saying, say my name, what's your favorite book, you know, a bunch of troll stuff that's nonsense. Or they get on and type, oh, you killed your sister, you raped your sister, you killed Natalie, you know you're guilty, you should just cut your throat, shit like that. I mean, it's incessant and nonstop. This stuff has been going on since 2017, and it's not just Wolnez. That's the problem, is that we can't differentiate one of these predators from another because they're all literally using the same excuse. Natalie used her excuse for all the BS she was doing. The same thing with, Farnsworth, he didn't know anything about the situation with Natalie. He was just obviously having one of his episodes because he was, it doesn't matter. He's not doing that stuff anymore. But Andrew Wolnez, you know, with the repeated assaults, I need an easy way to send that doesn't involve me having to hook up my computer, because that literally requires me hiring a drug addict to carry my computer to the library for 3 hours. I hopefully can work on it, and then having to hire another drug addict to carry my computer back down to my car. I don't have any money because I keep paying drug addicts to carry stuff for me.
Okay. So I know how you can stop them from making those nasty comments on your YouTube page.
Sir, it's not about the nasty comments. It's about the damage towards my life and my reputation and how I'm treated in court everywhere, how I'm treated by the police everywhere. I didn't come here to be treated like a drug dealer or to get treated like a rapist or a child molester. I came here because two of the people that were trying to help me in the Natalie Bollinger case disappeared. David and Katie Saltzman disappeared in 2019. Now, with the sheriff of Chapel, Nebraska harassing my little sister and following her around, and people threatening to kill my niece and my little sister, yeah, I was a little freaked out, and you're damn sure right that I left that state. I shouldn't have had to. See, that's what happens when you try to turn in a crooked sheriff. They send you around in mental health circles and then tell you that it's your fault, that you should have tried harder. I've already been through all this once before, well, more than once before. See, there was multiple police agencies involved with the situation with Natalie before she was killed, and I know that because I was calling these police agencies and saying, hey, I'm being abused by a group of people. I'm being harassed on the internet. I'm being harassed in real life. I'm being physically assaulted. I can't go see my friends and family. It's horrible. But instead, what I got was the runaround. Oh, you need to get a lawyer. You need to get a lawyer. I'd talk to the lawyers. They'd tell me, well, the police have to do something. Have you made a police statement? And I'd say, yeah, I tried. I went in and told them that I wanted a statement. They said, oh, well, we don't do it that way. You tell us what happened and we'll decide if it's illegal. The same thing that Trent Olson has done on multiple occasions.
That's how it works.
It's not how it works because the DA's office, they refused to do anything. They said that nothing was turned in, no paperwork was turned in, and I was told that the reason that no investigation was done was because I never made a written report. Meanwhile, I wasn't allowed to make a written report because apparently you don't do it that way. Now, if you're going to deny me the right to do it the way that I'm allowed to get some sort of satisfaction as far as the law goes, why are we doing it in that complicated way?
Right.
I should have been allowed the right and the opportunity to make a written report from the very start. If the DA can refuse me any of the rights that I should have in this situation because I wasn't allowed to make a written report, claiming that the written report is what should have been done and that it's my fault because I didn't make a written report, well, I was denied the right to report. That's not my fault or my choice. When the protocols keep on changing depending on which officer I'm talking to and which situation it is, I mean, it's horrible. When I'm literally physically assaulted and I can't get a protection order against the people that are physically assaulting me, like Tim Beeson. Sorry, Tim Beeson never physically assaulted me. It was some other friends of Matty Bowes that were physically assaulting me. Tim Beeson was threatening to kill me.
So, in Oregon, you were assaulted by Andrew Wolness, and you have a restraining order against him, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So who else has assaulted you in Oregon that you don't have a restraining order against?
There is that Molly lady, of course. There's also a lot of the youngins. I've been pelted with rocks. Usually, though, they're throwing the rocks at my vehicle. They happen to pelt me because my door's open or because I opened the wrong time. A lot of the license plate numbers as well. The problem is I've been writing all this stuff down. I'm told that nobody can do anything about it because I don't have any video. I explained that I have video and I've been trying to turn it in. I'm told that there's some sort of thing that I can do through the Department of Justice. The Department of Justice says I have to go back to you guys. They also tell me that I am allowed to make a written report, that the police are not going to investigate anything without a written report. They did the same thing in Chapel, Nebraska.
Okay.
The thing is, I did try making multiple reports about the assaults when they happened. Now, I didn't get this one because eventually I'm going to be afraid of talking to the police, obviously. It's Martinez. Some evidence at my car that shows the harassment by the accounts, including Andrew Wolnez's account. There's also Safeway. This is after the protection order and after he was kicked out of the Safeway for going in and yelling at Candy and accusing me of being a child molester and a rapist and a murderer literally inside of the Safeway. Now, the recordings of these things are recorded. The problem is that when we tried to turn them into, it ended up being Martinez on 2 of those occasions and Sadler on another. Matter of fact, Sadler was just 2 mornings ago, and he was bullying me, trying to get me with improper use of 911 again. The problem is that I wasn't calling 911 to curse out or bully people. I was calling 911 the first time because of them youngins throwing stuff at my vehicle and screaming the N-word. I called 911 the second time because I was hung up on. And then the second time that I called, I couldn't hear the guy. So I called back again because the guy literally was talking as quietly as he could. When I called back the second time, he was talking quietly too. I finally got sick of it. I was like, hello, can you speak up? Can you speak up? Can you please speak up? But he wasn't. Now, me over and over and over again why it is that I called 911 3 times. Meanwhile, I'd already explained it to him and attempted to explain it to him more than once. After that, he was just dead on bullying me for calling 911 more than once. I don't want 911. If I had my way, I wouldn't have a reason to call 911 ever. And just like the other situation, it was over them same youngins doing the same stuff. Now, I have the videos, they're posted up. The problem is that the longer it takes to sit down with somebody one-on-one and be able to do it that way, the more impossible it is, the more evidence it's buried under. I understand that not every video that I have is a video where people are being criminally minded or acting criminally towards me, but I don't record, because people are always committing those crimes. I always record to the best of my ability because, like with the situation with Molly, when she was beaten on my vehicle, and I was told, oh, well, we have to see video. And I said, well, there is video. Oh, well, it doesn't show the start of it, so we can't do anything. And when I tried to turn that in again to you in specific, like, you weren't very nice about it either. The thing is that the Molly situation isn't the only situation that proceeded like that. All of these situations have proceeded like that. Now, if I could feel safe going to the police, which would require police actually extending an olive branch and acknowledging that I'm not schizophrenic, I'm not delusional, and that I have every reason to be afraid, and then actually sit down with me and the evidence without the intention of twisting things out of context. And that's one of the most important things there. I understand that there's officers that you work with that are pissed off at me and don't like me. They show it with their attitude every time I see them. That doesn't mean it's okay for me to be assaulted.
No, not at all.
Now, there's a whole bunch of them. If you can get I don't know how to even do that. Like, Candy has a bunch of them. Nathan has a bunch of them. They're not any better with electronic stuff as far as that goes than I am. Now, I've got the library that I can go to for 3 hours a day, and I am willing to sit with somebody that's, well, at this point, I really don't have any officers in your department that I can talk to that haven't bullied me.
Okay.
So it's not that I'm not trying to work with anybody. I'm trying to work to the best of my abilities through my electronic disabilities, through my financial disabilities, and also through a lot of harassment and a lot of people threatening to kill me. It's not just the stuff online. It's obviously Wolnez is in real life. Obviously, he's also doing the harassment online. Obviously, he's also doing the harassment through the phone. And the same thing with that Ted Burner. Now, as far as Andrew Wolnez getting pissed about me calling him a pedophile, I wasn't trying to be a bully by doing that. I was trying to let him understand that you don't just go running around calling people pedophiles. You don't just go running around assaulting people either, but I'm not willing to assault him. I don't get it. All of the occasions that he physically assaulted my part at him. It seems to me there's a lot of people who think it's okay to do stuff to me, but it's not okay for me to do that back. Meanwhile, the stuff that people are doing to me and the stuff that I'm doing back are not on the same equal level. Like if people threaten to kill me and then assault me repeatedly, and eventually, after over a year of a situation like that, I eventually threaten people back, then magically I'm a bad guy and I need to be locked up. Or of course there's a situation with Wolnez. He assaults me 8 times with absolutely no repercussions from me. The 9th time I try to pull his hoodie over his face so that he can't see me to headbutt me. And all of a sudden I'm some sort of an evil person who should be locked up for the rest of my life and take anger management classes. With all due respect, I'm pissed off about the right things.
Who told you to go to anger management classes?
That's what the DA's office is offering me for cursing out the 911 operator.
Oh, so that's not from the Andrew Wolnez thing. You're connecting 2 different things.
No, they are absolutely both connected. See, Andrew Wolnez is abusing me over those youngins, and that 911 call was over me trying to turn in them youngins, as well as the safety issue with having to go to the police when I'm bullied every time I do, or talked over, or sent to mental health. Although both of the judges here have made statements about how it is the police officer's job and not mental health's job. I'm surprised neither one of them used the word inappropriate, because it is. If somebody's assaulted, pawning them off on mental health is the wrong thing to do. It's dismissive. So I do have, well, I've got 15 bags of paperwork in my car that shows people other than just Andrew Wolnez. I mean, it's, like I said, that Ted Burner account and the other account. You can get onto, if you look up on Google, just type in Safeway Tillamookkk, and then it'll give you the option of looking at the reviews. If you click on the reviews, you can scroll down, you can see Andrew Wolnez, you can see the Nope Nope account, and you can see the Ted Burner, aka Fred Burner account. All 3 of them on. Do what?
They're talking about you on that?
Yeah, I guess it's called doxing. Basically what they're trying to do is pretend like I'm filming children in the bathroom and, you know, basically fear-mongering, anything that they can to try to cut me off from resources or deter people from helping me or treating me as a human being. They complain if I plug into an outlet, and even if I don't plug into an outlet, they also do the same thing to the library. Now, one of the ladies at the library was telling me that they got some complaints about me, and one of the manager gentlemen told me they got some complaints about me. The lady who told me said that they took down the complaints at the library because they were vulgar and inappropriate. The guy who talked to me at the library didn't give me any details about it. He just let me know that it was a complaint about my car and I needed to move it because there's no parking overnight, which I knew was going to happen eventually anyway. Because of this abuse, I sit in my car and I rock back and forth and wish my life was over. There's a lot of people here, a lot of the people at the Safeway, like Miranda and Cynthia and Candy and all them, that, you know, they've seen a lot of the stuff that's gone on. Miranda got to see one of the assaults First Christian Church. But the thing is, everywhere that I go, people do this stuff, and they cite Natalie Bollinger as their excuse, accusing me of murdering her and molesting her and raping her. And, well, with all due respect, Natalie never accused me of molesting or raping her. And she did try to convince people that if she ended up dead, I did it. But that's the thing, is that she was severely narcissistic. Well, not according to me. I have a much better belief in Natalie. I believe that because like I said, I suck with internet stuff. If I'd have been able to send her the screenshots of what Tim Beeson was doing, she'd have put a stop to it right away. But I didn't have the ability to send a screenshot, and those were the influences in her immediate vicinity. It was her familiarity, despite the fact that it was druggies. There's nothing I could do about that. But I did try to do something about the threats and assaults. It's not my business who she's hanging out with. It is my business when those people are threatening to kill me and threatening to kill my friends and family and assaulting me. It's not my fault cops didn't want to do their jobs in Nebraska or Colorado or Virginia was killed. And it's not my fault that I had to go back to all of those jurisdictions and talk to the very cops that blew me off and pretended like it was no big issue and I just needed to go to mental health because I was being assaulted. Mental health is not going to stop Andrew Wolnez's assaults any more than they stopped the BS from Molly, any more than they stopped the assaults from Farnsworth. Mental health doesn't do that. They don't care if I'm assaulted. There's also the mandated reporters repeatedly trying to push me into housing instead of doing their jobs as mandated reporters. They have a job to do. Their job is not to make 10,000 suggestions other than what the victim is trying to do, which is turn in their predators. All of the alternate places that I've been sent, because I'm supposed to be able to go to a place if I'm being abused, I'm supposed to be able to go to hospitals or clinics or schools or police or clergy. I've tried all of those with the exception of the schools because I figure with the current political climate, if I walked into a school, I might end up getting shot because of people's paranoia. And maybe not literally, but you know, I went to a closed high school in Washington State, and it was a closed high school because people showed up with guns all the time. So I mean, it's kind of the way it is. As far as the videos go, I can scroll through and find them and send them in text message, but if I'm able to send them in text message to you, but it's not going to that link, this isn't my fault.
I understand that, Sean. Let's start with that. If you can just scroll through and like write down, oh, in this video titled "Show Us on This Pegasus," at the 10-minute mark, you can see him assaulting my car. And then just text me that, and I can look through that video.
Yes, sir. Well, my fingers are currently frozen, which is one of the major issues with being stuck out here and it being...
I get it. So we'll just start with that, and you don't have to know even the sun's up, okay?
I'm in a safe situation as we speak, though, because of this.
Okay.
Like, that's the thing with trying to sit down and meet with somebody that I can actually show the evidence to, is because it's easier for me. I have nerve damage from being assaulted by Waylon Lolatai. He's an officer in Boulder, Colorado. Holding a cane is a pain in the butt, and my right hand doesn't allow me to write most of the time. I was able to write a few things down on a notepad last night, and my hand is still recovering and buzzing from it.
Okay, so you're not safe where you're at right now. How do we fix that?
I don't know. There was supposed to be something through my medical insurance to get me a room for a week, but I've been here 16 months and it still hasn't come through. There's supposed to be, I don't know. Like that's the thing, is that I have no idea. When I was in assisted living in Nebraska, that's the last time that I had a place. Like, other than that, it's just me being stuck place to place.
Okay.
I mean, I know that there was supposed to be some funds through the sheriff's department for travelers coming through who get stuck for a few days. And there's the emergency fund, like if a family comes through and all their stuff gets stolen and they need to stick around a few days until the cops find the culprit. But, you know, as far as me being qualified for that, I don't have any kids. The other thing is, with my vehicle being broke, I mean, I can't travel to anywhere. I'm literally stuck here. That's the situation that got me stuck here to begin with, too. I didn't want to come live in Tillamookkk. I was on my way to Salem to try to turn in the cops in Hood River. Yeah, that's... Cops keep telling me that I have to go to other jurisdictions. And then I'm told in those other jurisdictions I can't do anything. I have to go back to the original jurisdiction and turn them into themselves again, which results in me getting bullied because, yeah, everybody knows how stupid that is. Matter of fact, Officer, what is it, Harrell, the sergeant?
Okay, Harold, yeah.
Yeah, he was even pissed off about the way that works. He didn't think that it was appropriate for me to be trying to turn in any of his officers to him. He said that I needed to get a hold of the Nebraska State Troopers, and I explained to him that I'd already gone to, or not Nebraska State Troopers, the Oregon State Troopers, and I explained to him I'd already gone to the Oregon State Troopers multiple times. They told me that I needed to go to the Tillamookkk Police Department, and he said, well, we're not allowed to investigate ourselves. So then I get a hold of the state troopers, and they tell me, well, we're not allowed to investigate other agencies. Like, it's just been a long, drawn-out game, and it never should have been. What it should have been is me going to the police as an at-risk adult and saying, hey, I'm being assaulted. You know, would you take some pictures of my bruises and allow me to make a written statement? I've had multiple officers refuse to allow me anything in court because they denied me the right to make a written statement, and then they get in my face and treat me like crap because I was supposed to make a written statement. I've even been yelled at by police officers in front of judges because the police officer wanted to say, well, I told you have to write it down. Oh, sorry, ma'am.
I'm sorry. I was trying to call. I didn't need to get in. I just can't see anybody.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So I'm pretty well versed in how easy it is to screw somebody over. I don't have a friend or family member, and that makes me at a higher risk of being abused. I'm also physically disabled, which makes me even at a higher risk of being abused. Like, I did.
Absolutely.
So I have the ability to send this over emails. I don't have the ability to write it down. I have taken screenshots, but that's the thing, is that eventually my muscles quit, and they quit for days. I don't know how to get people to understand that I can't turn off my disabilities to jump through hoops that other people can jump through. I can't physically run away from people. Go ahead.
Didn't think I was asking you to jump through any hoops. I thought I was trying to make it easier for you to...
I wasn't referring to just you or you in specific. What I was trying to get at is that my disabilities are very real. Oh, very good.
Do me a favor, if
Yes,
you're going
sir.
to pace back and forth, would you do it in front of that door down there?
Oh, yes, sir.
Thank you. Or in the middle here.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Make the call with. Like, I'm doing everything that I was instructed to make the call with. Like I'm doing everything that I was instructed by lawyers to do before Natalie was killed. This is a dangerous situation before she was killed. That's why I had to see 3 different therapists. All 3 of those therapists were supposed to help me to stop the abuse. Instead, they just sent me through for therapy, just like services here did. They're not allowed to do that, by the way.
Okay. All right, Sean. Send text message to that number, that 457 number, and it should come right to me. And then try to use that link if you can again. It seems like that's a drag and drop, from what I understand.
It won't let me drag and drop. I've already tried. It won't let me. I'm having to do this from a telephone, and it's not working.
Okay. Well then, yeah, just old school. Type it out and send it to me in a text message. And even if it's just one a day, I can look through it and find it. And that way, if your fingers don't seize up or